10 men up in the box when there's the corner kick taken. Why? Why would you want to do that? Dembaba was left alone half the field. He just ran across the whole field to just tap the ball in. And the second goal, 3 defenders marking one guy. Why? What is Maguire doing? What is Tuanzebe doing? Tuanzebe was different in PSG, and against Istanbul, he was like, what? Dude, I don't know, man. No comments, man. I'm so furious right now.
And welcome to Football Bluds TV. And I'm Sabesh, Manmathan. Together with me, we have Isaac and Bharath.
Just Bharath.
Kunde.
Nope.
So if you love the content, do subscribe to the channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. I have to.
Yes, too.
Well played.
Right.
Thanks, eh.
Alright, so today's topic is none other than this. Is it Ole in or Ole out? I'll start off with Bharath first.
Okay, I think previous episodes I've been saying, I did say Ole in, and maybe Mourinho is the one who's going to go out first, but I think I'm going to change my opinion now. Because we had a debate that time, right?
Yeah.
So Ole in or Mourinho in first. So I think this time I'm going to say Ole out. There's few reasons lah. I think you have to be consistent as a manager. Like, who's under pressure, you have to be consistent. You can't be like a world-class team in one game and be that Sunday League team in another 2 games. That's how they played against Arsenal and Istanbul yesterday. It's a team that I never heard before, and only then I knew Rafael and Dembaba was there. I was like, oh, okay, these players are this club. But awful game, dude. Awful.
I cannot
game.
even pronounce their club name,
I don't even know the manager's name. It's something Rukus, something, I don't know. They're like some unknown team who came and beat United in the Champions League.
They're basically like lower than underdogs.
We beat PSG.
And the worst part is we beat Leipzig and PSG, and then we go and lose to them.
Okay lah. In all fairness for PSG lah, PSG is not in a great form also now lah. Their form is pretty bad as well lah.
But the club is the first time they scored in Champions League, and it's 2 goals and they won.
And it had to be, you guys.
Yeah.
Can you believe it? Their first goal came against us and they beat us. What was the defending doing, bro? 10 men up in the box when there's the corner kick taken. Why? Why would you want to do that? Dembaba was left alone half the field. He just ran across the whole field to just tap the ball in. And second goal, 3 defenders marking one guy. Why? What is Maguire doing? What is Tuanzebe doing? Tuanzebe was different in PSG, and against Istanbul, he was like, what? Dude, I don't know, man. No comments, man. I'm so furious right now. Okay, I'm done.
Especially the goal, especially.
Yeah, when you watch something like that, and then the next day when that Arsenal game is still in my mind until today. It's like the 4th day after the game is done, but the game is still in my head. It's just because that when you expect United to play bad, they turn up so well, and when you expect them to really turn up well, it just backfires. You see, the game against PSG and Leipzig, I didn't expect them to do that. I was like, okay, it's going to be a long spurt and all that. So, and then I noticed the formation in Leipzig where I'm talking mainly about the midfield. I'm not talking about the defense and the attack. The midfield 4, the diamond, it was Bruno Fernandes on top, and then they had Pogba, Fred, and then they had Matic down there. Okay,
McTominay or Matic?
Matic. For Leipzig was Matic. So this was the 4 midfielders in that game, and the whole game really controlled so well, where Matic was actually the first defender among all the defensive lines. So he's able to stabilize his back line. But you see, when as a manager, you already got a good stability in that. Why you have to go to Arsenal and change the whole thing? Take out Matic, you put McTominay, You pull Fred down, you put McTominay on the right, and
Exactly.
then you see what
Exactly,
happened.
dude.
I don't know why he
Messi.
has to change that way. And then he made substitution. We have the Van de Beek guy sitting there, pity the guy. And instead of taking out who he's supposed to take out, which is McTominay, he took
He
out
took a
Bruno
Fred.
Fernandes.
Anyway, he took a Bruno, yeah. Like, why?
And I got
You're
like, what's
attacking and you
happening?
took a Bruno.
And,
Why?
yeah, and he didn't even take out Pogba, who cost us the game.
To be honest,
And
with you guys, to be really honest, I was the first one who think the game started against Arsenal. I think Pogba's going to mess up the game. I told this myself. And I was hoping his number come out for the substitution, but Bruno.
Yeah, he played
why?
the entire 90 minutes and Bruno Fernandes and Fred went out. I was like, shut up. Okay, one side, the officials, another one. There were so many terrible tackles. Gabriel should be sent off and all that. But I won't blame the officials because we were that poor. The whole entire 90 minutes. The whole 90 minutes we were terrible. We were like totally a disaster. Arsenal was all over us playing like they were Liverpool.
Yeah.
And these Arsenal fans, celebrating a penalty win after like I don't know how many years, 29 years.
Because it's the first time.
Since 29 times they visited the top six sides. This is the first time they actually won, and we made them win the game. I mean, Arsenal played equally good, so I don't know what to say. So for me, yes, I was same as Bharath. I was backing up Ole, so I backed him up from the start. And even until now, I feel like, okay, Ole maybe he can make the change, but I think he's at his peak. It's in his ceiling already. He just cannot go above that anymore, I feel. Like the Champions League, somehow he got third place and then he didn't get who he wanted and everything, and the players started doing that and this and all that. So maybe it's time for Ole to maybe stay in United, but don't be a manager, maybe do some other things in the club. That's what I feel. That's
Not
what
as
I
the
can
manager.
do for now.
Yeah.
So Isaac will definitely be very happy if Ole stays.
Yeah, definitely. I've said that many times.
The first one to be happy.
Yeah. So the thing is, Arsenal did play very well, surprisingly, after having countless of bad games. And just as you said, inconsistency. When you expect them to play good, they play bad. When you expect them to play bad, they play good. No one can understand why he makes crazy substitutions. No one can understand why. No one will ever understand why. Only the man and God knows. But like I've been saying all these years, all this while long, as from the moment OGS stepped in as a manager, it didn't feel like the right fit. To me, when he was introduced as an interim manager, that was it. A caretaker, that's all, not more. And definitely not less. So I was surprised on my side to see that Ole continued to be the permanent manager, and I was even surprised that the fans were actually really happy about it. I mean, probably I can understand why, because he won them a couple of games straight. But like I say, you can start seeing his downfall, which is consistency. That has been his biggest issue from the time he joined in until yesterday. You can see that he always have got this inconsistent problem. One game plays well, another game plays bad. Or, win by luck here and there, but that's all about it. To me, he's not a Manchester United level manager at all. No hard feelings at all. And to me, he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be. Besides a football player or ex-football player, he shouldn't be anything else in Manchester United. To me, he has done utter disgrace to the club. The way he has played his players, the way he has done things. Just because he did not get players that he was promised to, just because he didn't get what he wants, does not make it all right for him to be make it all right for him to be inconsistent. There's so many players, there's so many clubs, so many teams, so many managers did not have what they had, the resources that you guys have. Like, let me ask you a big question. Like, in Premier League, you've got so many good wingers. Why is it that he was so adamant to getting what's his name? What's the guy, the 120 million guy? Sancho.
Sancho.
Yeah.
Sancho.
What was the point of getting him? And
Sancho.
I know you didn't get him, but and what's the point of getting Cavani? You paid 20
Oh,
million
okay,
for
see.
him, and you paid 20 million for
They
his
wasted the whole transfer
20
season.
million for a play and 20 million for his agent. That just don't make sense. He's not a player that any manager should even consider in the first place, because you can see that the manager is milking the money out of the club. And to me, I don't think you need a, I don't think so. You need a Cavani to be in the team to fix your repairs. You've got a lot of problems that you have to fix, and bringing Cavani in is not the solution at all. You know it, I know it. You've seen in the games week in and week out. You know that's not the solution. Now, if you look at what Pochettino has done with Tottenham when he took over, I think he was there for a good 4 or 5 years, right?
5 years, if I'm
Yeah.
mistaken.
And Ole Gunnar is in his 2.5, 3 years now,
Reaching third year, I think.
third year. And by the
Yeah.
time Tottenham were in their third year with Pochettino, you could see a lot of difference
Champions League final, bro.
from where they were, what they have, what they had. He didn't do much signings. He didn't do that big of a sign. I believe he didn't do. And when he did good. He did good signings, right? Like, you have a problem with the keeper. Change a keeper. Don't ruin a keeper's life. You got Henderson, right? Dean Henderson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good keeper.
He's a very good keeper, man.
He's
Look at what he
consistent.
did to Sheffield.
Yeah, he's consistent. On the other hand, David De Gea is not that consistent anymore. He was sort of your problem last season. So, in my opinion, I would have changed. I would have swapped immediately. And then, like, what is he doing with crazy rotations? You don't need to do crazy rotations. You don't have a strong bench. So don't do crazy rotations. You just gotta take the risk. You know, Liverpool did not have a strong bench when Klopp came in. In fact, you know all these players, what they were. He made use of what we had. And then over the years, yes, he bought 1-2 players. He started adding in, and then it started becoming stronger. And then he used a lot of existing players to make stronger. And
That's the thing. All these rotations actually should happen in the training session,
correct.
not in a game itself. I mean, you can try in a League Cup maybe, like small teams. If you lose that, it doesn't matter. You're trying it in your main league, which is the Premier League,
Which is a
and
bad
you're trying
idea.
it in the Champions League. That's really a wrong move, man. I mean, as a manager, you should know which is your priority, which league is your priority. You shouldn't be, when you're doing bad already in the Premier League and you're number 15 now, so you shouldn't be doing that kind of rotations to actually, a winning game shouldn't be lost. So,
yeah, exactly.
mistakes,
No, see,
bad calls.
even the Istanbul game, the Champions League game, Donny van de Beek was the best, for me, the man of the match for United. He had been playing so well, all his defensive line. See, Donny van de Beek is more to a box-to-box player. He's more like Steven Gerrard, this kind of players, you know. So when he's performing so well in that game, I don't know what triggered Solskjaer to actually remove him out for Pogba.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened. So first I thought maybe there was some slight injury, or and I see like it was very unnecessary for him to actually remove somebody who is performing. He was actually performing better than Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes for the past few games.
He was off.
Yeah, all respect to him. I know that last season he carried United and all that. But this season, up to date, I think Fernandes have done very little. I think maybe what is going on. Yeah, what's going on in United has affected him a lot. But coming back to what Isaac said earlier, like why he has to go for that player and all that. See, every manager has their own player on how they're going to build their team. So he has eyed Sancho as a player who will step up and be like a Sadio Mane, for example.
Yeah, but the thing
idea,
is,
you know?
but the thing is, his idea is like, you know what? Okay, I've got a problem, all right, and my first intention is to get Suarez, to get Messi, to get Neymar, to get Mbappe. These are not the solution because you know why? You know you can't afford them. Your club just can't afford them.
The thing is this.
Like, look, we got Diego Jota, and you see how terrific he has been. So far.
I understand. Okay, Liverpool had been doing very well in the transfer. I wouldn't say anything, but even Liverpool's board is not a very flexible board, if you ask me. Same thing here in United. Every manager has their own. Like, for example, when Jose Mourinho wanted Sanchez. He got him because he trusted the club will give. Because the club is, like Manchester United, I have no any hesitation in saying that Manchester United is one of those clubs which has some earnings. So when he can get that player, Ole in his mind, I just need a 80 million right winger, and we really needed a right winger at that moment. So his first initial price tag was 80 million. That was the main promise that made by Dortmund. Yes, it is expensive. It is still expensive for. He's around, it's expensive, but maybe he has his own plans to do so. But when he don't get it, and then when the club says no and all that, okay, fine. But the Cavani one was, I'm pretty sure it will not be his decision. It's something that the club gave to him. Yes, the club gave to him something to compensate what he didn't get. That is what I feel. Like you see,
not
like Alex Telles and all this.
Not to
this
him,
is what
Sabesh,
he wanted.
To the fans.
To just please the fans. To say that, see, at the end of the day, we
have
got
a big
Cavani.
signing.
Yeah, but the thing is,
if this was like,
but the thing is, he has kept his options so restricted. It's like, have you ever heard of?
You see, as a manager, you need to be stubborn at times. If you want that player, that's the player you want to get. For example, we take Frank Lampard himself. He wanted Werner very badly, and the club was able to back him. And then once he got Werner, he immediately said, "I want Havertz, I want this, I want that." And the club themselves, they, even though they don't want, but because the manager has given that adamant, I want this guy because this is what he's going to prove to me. This is what he's going to give to me. So that confidence level is not being given to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And also, Ole said that he wanted, after, let's say I'm already in the Champions League spot, I really need some money for me to give what I want. Because he was in his first season and United is building up. They're considered like they're totally shattered and they're slowly building up. So he wants to build in his way. Okay, I want to build in this way. So the club should not promise him to say that I'm going to give you this and this and this. And then end of the day, they don't give him anything. So that is going to trigger him alone. But now when I'm looking at it, okay, transfer is done. I'm not going to talk about transfer anymore. But looking at his decision himself is making us to feel like, okay, he's not the right one now. Yes, if you ask me, when Ole first came into United, if you ask me at that moment, Ole is the person who is going to replace Ferguson, I still will say no. Ole will never replace Ferguson, and to be honest, he will never win the league. Okay, Ole is not that type. Sorry, I got a call suddenly. So Ole is not that type where he can win you the league. But it showed that he has reached his ceiling. There's a ceiling, right? And he couldn't go further. So that is the main reason why fans are like, okay, fine, it's over. Thanks, Ole, for everything you have done to the club. You're a good legend to us, playing for us and everything. But it's not going to solve what we wanted and all that. Because Manchester United, when any club say Manchester United, like, oh, Manchester United. But now Manchester United is just like some small clubs where anyone can come and just trash him.
See, when you have resources and when you don't know how to use the resources you have in hand, adding in resources is not going to help you. Now, let's say since the day Ole came in, okay, if Manchester United has been playing really well, the fans can see it, people can see it around the world, winning games, and because they got poor bench, so they're gonna have to rotate players when injured. Then the fans will know it, people will know it that the club is not giving money. The club is not doing what it can to sustain the team. So the manager is doing all he's got to win games, and you can see because he's been doing well. But the thing is, the case is not like how I just said it now, because the case is the other way around. He has not been doing well, consistently well, but he is requiring expensive play to compensate his bench to rotate, and it just don't make sense. You see that. Now, every time I compare with Klopp,
for me, I feel the tactic is missing.
Correct. He hasn't got the right tactic to use the players he has.
Yeah. To be honest, we have a good we have a very good midfield.
Yes,
actually.
you got
we
good
have
players,
a very, very
actually.
good midfield.
Yeah.
Talented ones.
You've got good keeper, you've got good midfield, you've got good strikers.
Okay,
like
defense is shaky.
It's a bit. Okay,
if you are like 10 years ago. if you're like 10 months in a club, you are still considered new. But now you are like in a 2-year period,
3 years.
and you
Couldn't
still
be 3
couldn't,
years.
and you still couldn't find your perfect 11.
Yeah,
That
it's
is a
bad.
problem.
Correct.
That is
For
why
3
I say
years.
Ole out for me.
Yeah.
He's not
Yeah,
the
so-
man for the job, I feel.
Yeah.
Like
And
Mourinho, I think
See, even after
Mourinho
that
did
Arsenal game, I
better.
was.
Mourinho did better than Ole in his time here. To be
Yeah,
honest.
it should. That's why I was saying in the earlier. I was saying that if you ask me that if Ole can win the league when he first came, my answer is still no. But if Jose Mourinho, when the time he came, you asked me, can you win the league with Jose Mourinho? I was like, yeah, because he's proven.
Because
that
Jose
he's
is a
proven
man
manager.
with a tactic in the mind. He knows,
Yeah.
regardless he has his players or not, he will use the resources he has to achieve something that he can with the resources. Not sit and complain that, oh, I don't have these players, so I cannot achieve that. I'm doing bad because I don't have my star player. No, look at Tottenham, man. Who is
Yeah, but
Højbjerg? Who is Højbjerg? I don't know him, but look at him now.
Yeah.
Look at him now. He's like the main part of Tottenham there, holding the midfield together. Simple.
No, like for me, right, in
It's
the
just
current situation
missing
of United,
tactics.
the current United situation, I feel like regardless who comes in at this particular period, they will struggle. They will struggle for some time.
for a while, yeah, probably
And
for a few
typical
months.
United, typical Manchester United, as far as I notice after Ferguson left, the typical bot that we have, right? The first season, the manager comes in, he will get back whatever he wants, he'll get back. The second season, he won't get anything. The third season, he will be sacked. If you notice the way each of the managers that we had, this is how it has been going.
But
From
I say
That's the
lah,
pattern.
David Moyes, from Luis
That's the
Van
pattern.
Gaal,
That's the
the
pattern.
only successful one in that four is Jose Mourinho.
but like
And that
but I
also,
say lah,
you
Macha.
notice what happened in the third season.
True.
But I say one thing lah. If say Pochettino comes in lah, hypothetically speaking, if he comes in as a Manchester United manager, and if he does well, I'm pretty sure that he will get the fundings required.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, I agree.
He
as
will
No,
well.
not just
he
for
will
the
get-
first
because-
year. He'll keep getting it as when he wants it, and as long he keeps showing the results. Because right now
I
the
saw-
owners are not seeing the results.
Because even before joining, he already gives his ideology that whichever clubs he
yeah.
joins, he wants
wanted to say
is
that.
the power of controlling the transfer that he wants.
Correct. I saw
So
that.
that's
yeah.
a very good thing
Correct.
about a manager. You gotta control who you want, not what the club gives you.
Correct.
Regardless,
Yes.
I want a cheap player, I want him. He's 10 million, I still want him.
Yeah.
He's 100 million, I still want him. I
Yeah.
don't want the one you're giving me. So I'm going to use the place I want, not you want. That's a very good ideology for a manager. And I think he has the strength to hold the owners and the directors and the balls and say, you get me what I
Yeah.
want.
So okay, on that note, looks like we all agree that Ole has to go out, and the sooner the better. And looks like
Yes.
we all can also agree that Pochettino would be the best managers for you guys, right? And let's
Agree with
see
that.
the Everton game. If he loses that, which I feel like he might, then I think it's game over for Ole. And if not,
Mhm.
I don't know. Probably he would get another few games as to buy his time.
Imagine,
bless
man,
lah.
you are having 4 home games, 1 point.
That's bad. Lah.
Yeah.
So, I
I don't know whether to
People are
laugh or
scared
to
come
be
to
sad
Old
about
Trafford.
it.
People were scared to come to Old Trafford. Now Old Trafford is a playing ground for teams like Arsenal.
The theater of dreams is no longer a theater of dreams. It's now a theater of jokes.
So yeah, it's still a theater of dreams. I won't take that, man.
You won't take that away, lah, but people
Okay,
are taking that
so-
away already, lah.
All right, so this is our discussion on whether Ole should stay or not, and perhaps the fans themselves are being splitted. Some are Ole in, some are Ole out, some are Ole in and fading to Ole out. So this has been happening for some
Me.
time.
Hands up.
Please,
So,
Ole
is
in,
it
Ole in.
time for
Don't
the
go out.
Is it time for the Poch, or is it still the soldier who is still trying to manage the team to bring up his tactics and all that? So
Let me
take
just
a
say
look at
this
what's
again,
gonna
lah.
happen. Do let us know in the
Let me
comment
just say
section.
this again. If
Yes.
Ole stays in, I'm
Yeah.
happy because you guys are not going to win anything. If
Nope.
Ole is out, then it's going to be a big difference then.
If Ole is in, probably I don't know. In current situation, I have nothing to comment, man. It's
Yeah,
like
the
totally
best
no
you could
comments.
always Kalin
No
Cup, that's it.
comments.
You see,
That's the
even like,
best.
yeah, if let's say they would have won the Champions League game in Istanbul, at
Mm.
least he would have been a little confident to go to Everton game.
Yeah.
The players
Hmm.
themselves. Now, like, okay, if Pogba is not playing well, drop him, man. Why are you still trying to play him? Just because he wants to go to Real Madrid, you are playing him or what? I'm not sure. So it's like that. So yeah.
Let's
So
just see
let
what
us know in the
happens,
comment
lah.
section. Yeah, like what Bharat say. Let's see what happens in the next few games. I think it's not going to be a few games. Maybe the last game is Everton. I don't know.
Let's
So
hope it
yeah,
is.
let us know in the comment section what you think and do subscribe to the channel.